And we're live.
Hello and welcome to the 1985 FM podcast. It's February 26, 2013. I'm your host, Randy Lazudice, and with me, some miscreants from along the internet. I have Brian Jensen. Need your audio, sir. And Nathan Mayer.
Hey, what's up?
How you guys doing this week?
I'm doing good.
Great to hear. I would love to know how Brian's doing, but I can't get an audio feed from him. Hopefully that'll be fixed up relatively soon.
Oh, yeah, everything's good.
Good to hear.
Joke's
man.
on
Good to
you.
hear. I screwed up your podcast. Joke's on you.
I need a devious mustache or something like that.
Like an old day. Let's get right into the news, guys. Let's start it off. ARM 80s. We got a leaked poster from the new Assassin's Creed. It's going to be taking place in the Caribbean, supposedly. The leaked picture shows some art of Todd McFarlane, and it shows a new character taking place in a new era. It comes as no surprise that a new Assassin's Creed's coming. I'm sure you guys agree.
Absolutely. Looks like Blackbeard or something. Can't wait to go toe-to-toe. Legendary pirate captain.
Are you even excited about this? I mean, personally, I'm just gonna go out and say I really don't care.
I'm not, completely apathetic about it. Actually, I think there's a lot of potential here because I think a lot of people thought that the ship battle sequences in Assassin's Creed 3 were pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's all we
Maybe a whole lot more of that in this new game.
Right? Yeah, no, I like the fact that they're trotting through all the different eras, and I like games that are set in this area if they take take special care with all the trading routes and everything that you can do with games like this. Aside from the action, all the little little micro games you can do, that would be exciting. But these games have got so bloated with all these extra gimmicks that no matter what era it is, I'm just kind of turned off by it now.
If it has anything to do with the Fountain of Youth, then they failed automatically.
Fair enough. Brian, you have an opinion on this?
It's kind of a random game. I wasn't really expecting so soon after Assassin's Creed 3, but I was pretty disappointed with Assassin's Creed 3, so I don't care anymore.
Yeah, this is
I'm
their
in the same
chance
boat.
for redemption.
Yeah, I really liked 1, even though it had a lot of problems. It was very repetitive. I really enjoyed it still. 2, I really enjoyed, and then kind of everything after I wasn't all that into. I was kind of
Yeah, I feel kind of the same way. I really liked 2, and then everything thereafter was just kind of such small iterations that in just the worlds you get so lost in this the coming of age part at the beginning of the game where you spend so much time just getting acclimated to everything they're trying to show you that you don't even get into the meat of the game. Granted,
There's our ship footage.
there's our ship. I mean, granted, I didn't get into points like this in Assassin's Creed 3, but I mean, all the other stuff surrounding it made it to where I couldn't enjoy this stuff or even get to that point.
Well, we got the next gen consoles coming out, so we'll get that. The graphical improvement and everything associated with that.
Hopefully, so I assume this is going to be cross all systems that are available. It's going to be on the Game Boy. It'll probably be on the Saturn,
Probably.
CDX,
You'd have to be stupid to leave those systems out.
the
Especially
Nokia phone,
the CDX.
the CDX. I'm expecting a Nokia phone release. Yeah, and that's really about it. They're supposed to be putting this poster up on the walls in GameStop retailers next week, and then they'll probably start trickling out more information. But aside from that, the Todd McFarlane art's really cool.
Hey, absolutely. I mean, if he's doing the art direction, then
I don't
sweet.
know if that's a good
I
thing. We saw what happened with Kingdoms of Amalur.
yeah,
And
well, I don't know if the art was the worst aspect of that game, but
yeah, well, actually, it wasn't too bad of a game. Let's move on. Nathan, let's tell us about the next topic we got here.
all right. So the leaker extraordinaire, Super Day, um, has been raided by the FBI and the Australian police. He was the guy that put Durango up for sale on eBay. And here's some actual footage of the raid as it happened. They went in and they took practically every electronic device out of his home. Um, Basically told him that
It's
if
more
he goes
like
to jail,
it.
if he goes to jail, he'll get raped. That's what they told him. So they came in with a warrant. Obviously, he'd been investigated for a while by the FBI for, he's pretty much responsible for us having our hands on early specs of Durango and the PlayStation 3 or 4 rather, and he got a lot of information right, and that's very scary for game companies that are trying to keep a tight lid on things. Um, Apparently a very effective hacker. He made some very boastful claims like having access to Gears of War 3 before anyone else. In fact, he had a story that he got a hold of the game and then informed Epic about it. He didn't upload the game or anything, but he just told them about the security vulnerability in their system. And Epic was apparently grateful and sent him a signed poster as a reward for that.
Man, if I did that kind of free work, I would want more than a signed poster, to be honest with you.
That's all he asked for, actually, which is kind of interesting. He thinks he's doing a free service for people, so. But I mean, obviously, Microsoft didn't take as kindly to his snooping. Apparently, how he got Durango is he got access. He found some login credentials for the developer shopping page inside Microsoft's network, and used someone else's bank information to buy more than one Durango development kit. So obviously he's done some pretty nasty things. I mean, he claims, of course, that the money would have he wouldn't keep the money or something, but I don't know. There's maybe a little bit of controversy going on about this. Is it right that are they treating him unfairly? I mean, they did take pretty much all of his stuff and left him with nothing. But
It's a strange situation. I mean, had he not put the Durango on eBay to sell, then he would have a pretty good case that he wasn't trying to profit from any of the hacking. It was just merely like a curiosity, can I do it kind of thing. But the fact that he's tried to sell the Durango kind of goes against his whole argument, because right now he's really like in the stance of like, hey, I don't know why these people are getting mad at me. I didn't do any harm. I didn't hurt anyone.
yeah, I don't know whose money he used to buy those Durango kits, but obviously whatever money he got, he would have gotten back for those eBay auctions, which never completed.
Right.
He had no intention of giving that money back to whoever he took it from. I don't care if he gives it to charity. I mean, honestly, there's not a whole lot of ways you can spin this to make it look favorable for him morally.
Yeah, he's
Because
still selling illegal goods, no matter whether the money's going to a charity or it's going to you. The fact of the matter is you're still selling something that shouldn't be sold.
yeah, and you're using login credentials that aren't yours, and you're using he's getting a hold of these bank information and stuff like this, and so there's layers to this. We're only getting like one side of the story really, but honestly, even though this is technically Super Day's side of the story, it's not. It doesn't look too rosy for him.
Brian, you want to add to this? You hacked into a Best Buy computer one time.
That one time, when never, I don't know. Yeah, I was thinking about this story. a bit, and I was kind of thinking, well, if someone leaked information about a product where it was like top secret or whatever, I think the maximum penalty I would give them is either, something along the lines of, how long the product's been in development, and then, like maybe something like that, or until like they're thrown in jail and or not in jail, but something happens in either the amount of time it's been developed or the amount of time remaining before the product's announced or released or whatever. I think it's a little harsh that he's going to prison for 20 years or something, but if that's in a contract or something that he broke, I mean,
A guy doing a sentence really has like no bearing on the amount of money it costs a company. Like when it comes down to it, they'll have him serve life if they could, just to make an example out of the guy.
Yeah, obviously this is coming during a climate of some heated emotions. There was the hacker activist Aaron Swartz kind of helped develop the RSS feed and various things like that. A very influential programmer and hacker, and he was facing, what was it, like 30 years in prison for collecting these like science journals or something and trying to publish it freely because he believed in free open information. They wanted to throw the book at him and gave him essentially no way out. So, he took his own life, and this started a discussion of, what is proportional response, where, in terms of these hackers, and especially when you get like things like WikiLeaks and where the government is extra touchy about the subject. There tends to be some pretty extreme consequences for these guys. I mean, this Super Day is looking at, what, 20 plus years
Yeah.
in prison for his convictions. So I don't know if the punishment fits the crime exactly, but
No, it doesn't fit the crime, but we're in a situation where people with money are having their interests compromised, and without getting like too political by any means, the people with money have such a strong tie into the system, and they're gonna persecute these people well beyond what many people might consider reasonable. Many people might agree it is reasonable, but the fact of the matter is these people are going to be made examples out of.
I do kind of want to touch on something because I think, in a lot of these cases where you do have, this leak of information and stuff, I think at worst he might, he might get the sentence, but it might, end fairly shortly. I think it's kind of like you said, where they want to make an example of him, but I think it's only a good example if it's in the short run. I don't think, actually committing to that is like, I don't know. It's just a very...
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I agree, yeah.
So, I mean, that's my take on it. So.
Yeah, I think in the end they're just... The interest of companies is to deter other people from doing the same thing, and seeing that there is like lofty penalties for doing so. Whether this guy actually serves 20 years is probably unlikely, because I'm sure this guy is by no means a convict in the same respect that a lot of people who are in prison for 20 years are there for. So most likely you're going to see this guy's sentence reduced over maybe the years he does serve.
Probably, because this isn't exactly government conspiracy here. Obviously, this information that he's leaking out is going to be made public eventually, and even within like a few months or so. But it's just the fact.
Yeah,
they're
he's
more,
by
they're
no
more
means
concerned.
like a Julian Assange or anything.
Right. They're just more concerned that he broke through, and that he had the access in the first place.
Yeah. All right. Anything else anyone wants to add to this?
I think we can pretty much move on to the next story here.
All right. Well, yeah. Get us started. We were talking about this a little bit. I didn't realize that this was actually a discussion, but listening to last week's conference got us thinking about the possibilities of this coming about. So, Nathan, please, by all means.
Yeah, and what Randy's talking about is subscription.